Hello, everyone. So, this week I'm taking some time to do sort of a deep dive into my Sun City Girls collection, which will be the subject of my Sunday week recap. I guess I'll focus on their first three LPs on Placebo Records, some solo stuff from the Bishop Brothers, and perhaps a handful of Sublime Frequencies records. But in the meantime, I thought I'd share a few non-Sun City Girls related records that I've been enjoying since Monday, like this John Butcher record, Terrible Cuts. This is a 2014 release. It's an edition of 200. Mine is number 7. Oops, here, number 7. And I'm not sure if there are any copies up on Discogs as of today, but this is a pretty cool record, you know. This came out of a invitation from Lebanese sound artist Tarek Atoui, to do some sort of work, intervention on the Kamal Kassar collection of Arabic music in Beirut. And what John Butcher does on this one is, so he edited a bunch of records from the collection, made some sound files, and he improvises over them. So track 1 is just exactly that I just described. And track 2 features drums and percussion by Mark Sanders. Great record. Next is this Jardim Macalé 7-inch Só Morto, Burning Night. This is an original 1970 edition. It has this classic song from his catalog called Soluços, which is sort of in that Brazilian rock psychedelia from the 60s, like late 60s. But it does venture into some other sort of territories, like in Crime, which is a track that has some sort of more, I would say, exploratory side of his compositions. And it also has this beautiful, just like achingly beautiful quasi breakup song, which I'm sure there's a lot of irony involved, but still is a pretty beautiful song. This called Seance. So this was, well, it still is a pretty difficult record to grab. It's exceedingly rare, just almost impossible to find in decent shape. But one fine morning 3 years ago, I was offered this, and I just jumped on it. I didn't even think about it, and it hurt my wallet a lot, but I was happy. But little did I know that 3 years later, no, like actually 2 years later, this would be reissued. So, fuck my life. But it still is pretty cool to have an original one. No regrets. This one, I'm going to spin this in a moment. This is a classic Macalé record. This is the 72 record. This was pretty hyped a few years ago. This is an original 72 edition also. Great record. One of my favorite things out of the sort of Brazilian 70s MPB. Macalé has like a few songs that are part of the canon of MPB that were recorded by Gal Costa, Maria Bethânia, but he was kind of ostracized for more commercial success, like mainstream commercial success, and was sort of considered kind of a marginal figure in relation to the more like celebrated, more famous people of this generation that came out of the Tropicalia movement, like Gilberto Gil or Caetano Veloso, you know. But he just, and he was part of such, you know, like a lot of just beloved and amazing records in Brazilian and in Brazilian music and MPB, right? Like he plays guitar on the psychedelic Gal Costa record, which I guess is very well liked on the VC. I've seen this on a few channels. Next one is this Biota record from '88, Tinkt. It's pretty trippy record. It's the only Biota record that I have. Well, at least under the name Biota. I also have an Mnemonists record, Horde from 81 or 1980, I don't remember, which I kind of prefer to this one, but this is pretty cool. Pretty trippy record. Next one, another MPBC record. This one by Robertinho Silva, drummer, percussionist. This is a pretty good record. You know, it has some tracks that just a couple of tracks that I find a little square, you know, but it's beautiful. Has some just heavy hitting moments. It features tunes by Milton Nascimento, Egberto Gismonti, Gilberto Gil, Nivaldo Ornelas, Wagner Tiso, and the people involved in this recording. You know, it's absurd. You know, it features Hélio Delmiro on guitar, Chico Batera, Egberto Gismonti, Jacques Moranembal, Ricardo Silveira. This heavyweights. On the free jazz side of things, this one. Listened to this one yesterday. One of my favorites, Communications Network by Clifford Thornton. This is from 1972 on Third World Records. Beautiful record. This is an amazing record. And the second track on this, which features some spoken word stuff from Jane Cortez, made me want to grab this one to listen to also. Celebrations and Solitudes, the poetry of Jane Cortez, with Richard Davis on bass on Strata East. Beautiful record. Love this one. So that's that. I'll see you Sunday.